Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, and in this tutorial we are going to create a simple VB.NET program using arrays to calculate the maximum, minimum and average of student marks. The main point here is that we are using arrays, so we are going to design the form, write the code and test the program. So without wasting time, open Visual Studio or Visual Basic and search Visual Basic and make sure you select Windows Forms before you go. Then next, then on this we are going to write it student marks up. I'm going to write it student marks up like that. Student marks up. Next, click next. So guys, we are going to use Windows Forms app. This will allow us to create a user interface where users can input data and get real-time feedback. This is simple guys. So right now we are waiting for our project to load up. Okay, it's gonna take a little time. Let's just wait. So here it is. So this is where we are going to work on our project. This is the Windows form and it's written form 1. So first I'm going to add a label to tell us or to tell the user to enter marks. So I selected the label like that, and I'm gonna write the name of the label enter marks. So enter marks. Okay, like that. So as you can see, I have added a label to tell the user to enter marks. So I'm now adding some text boxes. So I need to add 10 text boxes for the user to input the marks. This text box is where the user is going to input the marks. So I'm going to put 10 text boxes. 10 text boxes. Yes. So on these 10 text boxes, I'm gonna name each of the text box. TXT marks 0, TXT marks 1, TXT marks 2. So wait, let me just arrange these ones. Then we're gonna name this text box. We are going to give this text box some names. So let me do it just like this. So this is it. So now I selected the first text box. First text box, and we are going to write it TXT marks 0, and the next one TXT marks 1, and the next one TXT marks 2, then TXT marks. So guys, as you can see, I'm just naming these text box so that each and every text box will have a name. Okay, so as you can see, I named them TXT marks 0 up to TXT 9 so that they can be 10 text boxes for the user to input marks. So let's design our form. Now the last one, TXT marks 9. So here we are. We left finally, and now we are adding 4 text boxes. Like as you can see, I'm now adding 4 text boxes. and these text boxes are for submitting, calculating maximum, minimum, and the average. And we are going to give each and every button a name. So like this one, this button, the text on text we added submit, and the next one I'm going to add like this. Just follow my steps, guys. It's so easy to understand. Right here on the button we're going to write minimum. On top we're going to write minimum. So guys, just follow the way I write this text box, because if you don't write this text box correctly, your code is not going to be executed, because it will throw an error, because these names matters like that. So each text box have control type, name. Okay, so the control type, that the text we are entering on top, and the name is what we are calling btn max btn. So here we are. Now that we've designed the form, we are now writing a code like that. So this is the code I am writing on a form. So now I finished to write this code that is on the form. So I'm going to write the other code on the button. This button will read the data from text box and store them in an array. So just follow, like try. Okay, guys, try starts an error handling block in case of an invalid input. That the purpose of try I put on the first one, on the first. Just follow the code. Just follow the code. Next, like that. It will throw some errors like this, so I'm gonna do this and like that. So guys, private sub, it will declare a subroutine block of code, and the btn submit click, it will trigger. It will just trigger when the submit button is clicked. Okay. And if you don't understand something, MessageBox.Show marks have been saved success. MessageBox.Show, it will display a message box, and marks have been saved. That text I have written, I am writing in the codes. Those texts I'm writing in the codes. It is the message, like MessageBox.Show. It will display a message, and the text I have written in quotes inside the brackets, that is the message that is being displayed after the decision, after what happens to the code. So our code, as you can see, it is an error handling. It is an error handling. Like end try, it ends the try catch block. this is the code, this is the code, like this is the code. Yeah, everything's fine. So now we're moving on to the next textbox, the maximum button. So the code I'm going to put on this maximum button, this code find the highest value in the array using max. Okay, yeah, it is going to find the highest value in the array using max. Then it shows the result in a message box. This part, it will just calculate it and displays the highest mark. So simple, right? So dim max mark is integer, like what I write on top right there is equals to max.max. Dim, I'm just declaring a variable. Max mark is to integer and assign max.max like that. And max.max, it will find the highest value in the max array, in the array of max, like that. Oh, it's just making some errors right there. And there's this phrase I have written, max to string. It converts the highest value to string for display. And this is the code, guys, for maximum button. And that text I have highlighted, it converts the highest value to the string, to a string. And now let's move on to the next button. This is the content. Let's move to the next button. We click right here, double click, and this is the minimum button code. This code works the same way with the maximum button, okay, but find the smallest value using min. So we are going to declare, like what I said, this part calculates and displays the lowest mark. So it will just be triggered when the find minimum button is clicked. That's when it will going to be triggered. It will just work the same way. So I'm just declaring a variable, and I'm gonna put MessageBox.Show, and I will just say the lowest mark is, then end min mark to string, and that to string convert the highest values to a string for display. And it's just the same, guys. So now this is the code, guys. This is the code, and we're going to the next button, and the next button is average button. Right on this, the average function find the average of the arrays, because I'm going to put the average function in this code. So as you can see, the average brackets, it will find the average of the arrays values, okay, and I'm using to string. Let me show you when I use that to string. So guys, this is for just beginning, so I'm going to make another tutorial bit by bit. So if you are not a beginner, you will find this tutorial more easily and sometimes boring, because you will know all the basics. So I'm just doing for those who are starting. So on toString, right there on toString F2 in brackets, I'm using toString F2 in brackets to format the results of 2 decimal places. Okay, so then on top I declared the variable and I said declare avg mark, the s double is equals to max.average. Max.average, find the average of the values in the max array. And this is the code, guys. This is the code. So simple and easy to construct. And now we write the code. We need to run the program. So this is the code, guys, and we just finished it. And so it's so easy to understand if you are a beginner. So now we want to run our code. Let's run our code. So we're going to put our values like that, no, that one is too big, like that, and like that, like that. Yes, so I'm going to click this one and the result is going to be out, and I'm going to click this one and okay, and I'm going to click this one. Oh, this one is not producing the correct result. So guys, I want you to tell me what type of error is that in comment section. I need you to tell me what type of error is that I did in comment section. Let me repeat to run the program again. Okay, I'm adding some values now. I need you to tell me in comment section what is the error is that, because it's an error because we are producing a result but it's not correct. So we need to modify our program because there is somewhere we didn't do it correct, like right there, that code is not correct. So the code is not producing an error, but it will produce wrong results. So I need you to tell me what type of error is that. So now let's add some values. As you can see, it will say you enter a wrong valid, enter valid values. And now let's see if our program works well. Like that, like that, like that. Okay, let's go. Okay, we have submitted our marks. Okay, this is that. And okay, now look, it now produces the result, and that is the average. Okay, see how easy that was. Arrays make handling data so much cleaner and fast. If you found this video helpful, guys, just give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech tutorials like this. Oh shit.